Don't focus on perfection. And this makes sense, right? Whole foods are cool. So. I hope that makes sense. Hey guys, happy Monday. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about nutrition, food, feeling good, and sometimes yoga. If you like those things, hit subscribe below because it really supports my channel and it's free. Today, we're talking about nutrition and how confusing it is. Nutrition is so confusing. There's always a different headline. Eggs are good for you this week, and then next week they're bad for you. Or sometimes carbs are villainized, or sometimes fat's bad for you. And it's just really hard to cut through the bullshit, honestly, and figure out what's actually true. Finding good quality research when it comes to nutrition is really difficult, and that is why also all of this can be really confusing because there's so many contradicting, confusing studies. So today I have 5 things for you. Why did I put my hand up this way? Today I have 5 things for you that are proven by science that we actually know to be true at improving your health, improving nutrition. So let's get into it. So number 1, the first thing that we know for sure to be true based on science is that if your goal is to lose weight, you need to be eating in a caloric deficit. If your goal is to gain weight, you need to be eating in a caloric surplus. So what this means is basically, if you're trying to lose weight, your intake needs to be less than your output. So you need to be expending more energy than you're taking in. And this makes sense, right? And then if your goal is to gain weight, you just reverse that. You need to be taking in more energy than you're expending. So that's the first thing. That's like the fundamental sort of rule when it comes to nutrition or when it comes to hitting those specific goals of losing or gaining weight. Now, the amount of energy that you expend depends on a variety of factors, including exercise, your activity level, energy burned at rest, so just like literally while you're sitting here, how quick your metabolism is, resting metabolic rate. So all of these things are going to determine how much energy you're going to be expending every day. So as simple as this one sounds, I think that it's a huge one to come back to if you're maybe somebody who's been swinging back and forth between all these different dieting strategies and you're just feeling frustrated. Just remember this basic principle. If you need help figuring out what these numbers should look like for you, there are lots of online calculators that will do it for you. It's always going to be more accurate, just more precise if you work with a nutrition coach or something like that. But there are resources out there if you don't want to dive into a full nutrition coaching program. Number 2, whole foods are cool. If there is one thing that all of the dieting strategies have in common, it's an emphasis on eating a diet that's rich in minimally processed whole foods. There's a pretty general consensus that this way of eating is good for you. Studies have shown that relative weight loss remains the same regardless of carb or fat intake when there is an emphasis on minimally processed whole foods.
Daria, what's a whole food?
A whole food is a food that comes from the earth and is minimally processed or refined before you eat it, before you put it in your mouth. Whole foods come on a spectrum. So let's use the example of a topical food, a pumpkin. Pumpkins, as they are, just like a regular pumpkin, that's gonna be a whole food. It's straight from the earth. Canned pumpkin is gonna be a little bit more processed. And then pumpkin pie is gonna be even more processed than that. So look at those foods on a spectrum. When you're looking for whole foods to incorporate in your diet, don't focus on perfection. Just focus on getting a little closer to that whole original version of whatever that food was. I hope that makes sense. Moving right along, number 3, we love fruits and veggies. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of adjacent to tip number 2, but let's focus especially on plant-based whole foods, fruits and vegetables. These are high in fiber and high in nutrients, so they're gonna keep you feeling full and satisfied. The more variety of fruits and vegetables that you can incorporate into your diet, the better. This is great for your gut health, increasing the diversity of your gut microbiome is awesome. So the more colorful your plate can be, this is cheesy, but sometimes I like to think of it as like an art project, you know? It makes your plate, it makes your meals look prettier. So the more that you can throw fruits and veggies into whatever you're already eating, the better. This is great. There's also a growing body of evidence to support the claim that fruits and veggies are helpful in preventing a wide range of diseases, including cancer, including neurodegenerative diseases and diabetes. So eat your vegetables. Number 4, here's something we know. Most people know what to eat. Most people know the difference between a ho-ho and an eggplant, and most people can say which one of those is healthier. Yeah, so then why are so many Americans unhealthy? And it's because of a lack of prioritizing behavior change. We know that the more that you are able to change your environment and set yourself up for success with building healthy habits and establishing a solid foundation, a solid framework upon which to build, the more successful you'll be. So this can look like setting mini goals on your way to a larger one. I've talked about this before. I will probably talk about it again because it's important. Setting up that framework and setting yourself up to succeed at a very basic level will allow you to then build on those goals and ultimately sort of build this more narrow pyramid up to that ultimate goal. I also think that a big reason that people aren't always making the choices that they know are healthy is because it can be really overwhelming with all the noise going on and with all of the headlines and articles and things that you see on social media making false claims about nutrition or claims that aren't actually supported by real evidence. So I would say be cautious of what you see and what you hear about nutrition and do your own research. Number 5. Yes, sleep. I promise one day I will do a full video on sleep. I said I would do that weeks ago. I haven't done it yet. I will. But in this context, sleep is really important when it comes to the choices that we make about our food and our health. Here's why. A small sleep debt can suppress our satiety hormone leptin and increase levels of our hunger hormone ghrelin. This makes it really hard to say no to cravings, makes us more likely to reach for highly processed, quickly digesting, sort of like carb-dense foods to get that boost of energy that we need. The other thing that happens when we're tired is that we're less likely to move. We don't have the energy to be as active as we do when we're getting good quality sleep. So prioritizing your sleep is so important when we're talking about nutrition. Okay, I said this video was going to have 5 tips and I lied. It's gonna have 6 because here's a bonus one. The last thing that I think we all know pretty much for sure about nutrition is that whatever works best for you is best for you. Listen to your body and do what it tells you, basically, because that is going to be what's healthiest for you. But if you're feeling like sort of caught up in the noise and the overwhelmed by the media and all of the confusing information that we get about nutrition, remember that too, that your body is going to be the most informative tool when it comes to what's healthy. Okay, I think that's today's video. The sun's setting anyway, so we're losing the light, but I hope that this was helpful. I hope it gave you some clarity. I hope it just like brought it back, cut through the bullshit, just to kind of like fundamental nutrition things that we all probably already knew, but it's always a good reminder. Don't forget to hit subscribe, give this video a like, and leave me a comment below and let me know if there's any question that you have about nutrition or any sort of myth that you'd like to see debunked on this channel. Have a good Monday, have a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye.